Welcome back to another video. So before we begin, let me start with the disclaimer that I am not a financial advisor and nothing I say, post, comment, share, or do is financial advice. This channel is for entertainment purposes only, as I entertain myself and viewers with possible future price action with Elliott wave theory. So like, share, and subscribe to show your love and support. I appreciate every single one of you. With that out of the way, let's take a look at Solana. I should honestly be putting that disclaimer in every single one of my videos, but I always forget. So, you know, since I remembered today, I might as well put it today. Anyways, this is the daily chart of Solana, as you can see. As I marked in here, we have this 1, 2, 3. We're making the 3 right now. And if you follow my community posts on this channel, you'll see that what I was looking for was confirmation of a reversal, specifically to break the previous high of 209, approximately this high, 209. I think 209.86 with good volume and momentum. So I'm happy to say that it looks to be the case. As you can see, yesterday's price action, yesterday's candle, it completely engulfed the 208 mark over here. As wicks don't count as a successful breakout or a successful break. As you can see there, we had like multiple counts, right? We had 1, 2, and 3 all touching this, or all surpassing this mark over here. And with the break, we can argue that there is a stronger probability that the corrective wave is completed and wave 3 has begun. So what I mean is wave 2 of this, right? Because we're doing the wave 1, 2, and 3. So this, what I'm saying is this 1 degree bigger, or I guess 1 degree smaller than this 1, 2, 3 has begun. So if we were to plot this out, 1, 2, 3, somewhere 4 and 5, right? This, something like that. So what I mean is, so after the move up that we had over here, we can, and with this close above here, we can say that we are basically in a really good position, right? Because we broke the original wave 1, the larger degree wave 1, and on top of that, within the smaller subdegree, we also have successfully broken this previous high. So I'll get into it more in depth, but so let's just enter the hourly chart, right, and see where we are right now. I'm on the 3-hour chart right now, and I can start by charting this here. We begin its original 1 for this 1 into a 2 and then into a 3 and 4, 5. So this is what I mean in a smaller degree. So why was breaking the previous high, which is this one here, why was that so important? So essentially in Elliott wave theory, corrective waves, as in this 2, right, it can be combination waves. So that means that it can be a zigzag, right? So in here we can have a zigzag, ABC, but it can also be a combined, a combination. So what we would see is this double combo being W, X, and Y. And let's just make it like this so I can prepare it better. So essentially what a double or a combination, double combination would be, is having 1 degree move like this, where it goes as A, B, C, and this would complete a bigger degree of W. And then we would have an X move, which would essentially be this, but flipped, as it would move to the upside, but also be a 3-wave move. So it'd be ABC, and that would mark the X. And then again, we would complete the second move down, the second corrective being the same thing as ABC, being the same thing as this Y, as this W. So in this case, we would have a double zigzag, because first we would have a zigzag down, and then some kind of, you know, uptrend, a reversal, and then a continued zigzag down again. So that is what would be a combination, because we don't have just one zigzag, but we have in fact 2 zigzags. And the thing with combinations is that there are different combinations. It doesn't have to be a zigzag into a zigzag. There's also a zigzag into a flat, which would essentially be, well, you know, zigzag down, and then you have an X move, and then this Y move would actually be a flat. So you would have it as A, B, C, like this. So it'd be a zigzag down, and then X, and then a flat like this. And then again, we can have like a double flat, so a flat this, but 2 times, a zigzag and triangle, and a lot more combinations. So with, of course, with the combination being separated by 1 or 2 corrective patterns to the upside, which is basically the X that I was showing you. So we would have it as ABC to the upside, and this would create the X movement. So as I mentioned earlier, the 209 mark was the end of wave 1 on the daily time frame. So we had this at 209, or I guess this at 209, right? On this degree, this would be a 1 here, and this would be the 209 mark. And you can see on the hourly that we have here, it ended up around like $210, just about 210, but of course it's only a wick, so of course on the daily chart it would show as 209. And when the price action hit the purple box, which is highlighted here, which I had before as potential retracement level, we still had to wait for the corrective pattern, or I mean corrective wave, right, to complete. In other words, like, just because it touched this box does not mean that it's completed the corrective wave. Now, for example, let me just pull up Algorand, and you'll see what I mean for this, right? Because as I posted in the community tab, I had a post saying that algo update, reversal low hit 0.2367. I think it's clear on the daily chart here. 0.267, which was around this area, right? This dip right here. Missed the target by 0.0005, because originally my target was here, right, within this box, and I missed it by 0.0005. So I wrote, possible that we have completed the reversal. Like all other coins, looking for confirmation of an uptrend. Still too early to tell. And of course, it's way too early to tell because we don't have the confirmation yet. So again, let's go back to Solana and back into the hourly chart. So just because Solana hit the purple box, this area, it doesn't mean that it's done with the reversal. We need the confirmation. And Elliott wave theory at this point becomes a process of elimination. With wave 2 completing this zigzag pattern, there's a chance of a combination which is separated by an X wave, which is the corrective pattern up. So again, if we had this as a double combo, it would be something like that, right? because it would be a zigzag down on this area. So ABC here, ABC there, and then we have an upward corrective pattern, which is also an ABC. So A, B, and C. So let's just make it brighter. But you can see the general pattern of how a combination would be developing if Solana was to be in a combination wave. And again, with the new with this break of the previous high, we can easily count this as an ABC, right? Which only means that if, without taking a look at what we have here right now, of course, ignoring this part, without this information, we could have said that this was an ABC, and then this is an X move, an ABC, and we would be looking for a continued downward trend, going down and down and down. But now with this that we have here, this reversal here, even though it's weak, we would be looking for a stronger downside, right? A stronger downside if it were to be a continued combination wave down for a wave 2, right? But luckily, like, this low, it did not have enough momentum or volume in that case to really push it down more. Because again, at this point, or ignoring this part, at this point here, it was possible that Solana was just taking a breather from being pushed down from this move, right? Which again is why I was still looking for a clean break above the previous wave 1 price point. And I didn't jump to the gun saying that we're done with the correction, because it easily could have been another zigzag move, right? An A, B, and then C, which would be a combination wave, and it would have completed this larger 2, right? It would have been like that if we had a double zigzag like that. So at this inflection point over here, this was a pivotal point, because if it continued lower, meaning it meant that we would have another zigzag correction, but with the reversal, albeit a weak one, we are looking up. And just a general trend, right? We are looking at higher highs and higher lows over here. And with this reversal, it successfully eliminated the possibility of another zigzag wave down, which only leaves us in a bearish bias, right? With a potential expanded flat correction. If you're saying that we're still in a wave 2, then you would count it as a combination wave, right? Of something like this. And of course you would have it as an ABC, which I just deleted, and an ABC here. And then what you would be arguing right now is for an expanded flat, because this has hit the previous, it has crossed over the previous high. So essentially you would say it would turn out to be like this, something along the lines of this. And of course, like with an expanded flat of the combination, it would just bring us back down to this purple box area, which is essentially the initial corrective wave retracement level, which again, we have this 1 and then a 2, but the 2 would end up finishing its wave within this box. So whether it's a combination or just a single zigzag, we would be aiming to look at this area. So now that we discussed the bearish possibility, now let's look at the bullish side this time. And this time it would be assuming that we have completed the wave 2, as in this move that we have here was the wave 2 completion. Because if this is the case and we did finish this wave 2, it means that we are in the third wave, which is of course to the upside, which is always bullish. And again, you can see that there is simply just a higher high and a higher low. And using the Fibonacci extensions, right? Moving from the bottom, right, the completion of wave 2 into the top, and then over here, we can see, right, that wave 3, if it's a 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, it crossed over the 2 Fibonacci extension, and then wave 5 finished right at the 2.618 level. And of course, we can see that this wave 4 over here, because 1, 2, 3, 4, wave 4 entered wave 1. So again, it would be a leading diagonal of course, a leading diagonal of subwave 1 of a larger degree 3, because this again would be 3, but we're counting the subwave as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if we are counting this as a leading diagonal, which I personally am, we would be again looking towards a retracement level of the 78.6 and 88.6%. So again, it would be within this range here, which I'll put in a rectangle. It'd be looking towards this area, which is 184.01 and 180.07. But essentially, what would happen, what would come after, would be an incredible move up, like an insane move up to the upside, right? Because then it would be a 1, 2, 3 of a 1, 2, 3. It'd be a 3 within a 3. But if you even take a farther glance, you see that this is also a 1, 2, 3. So it's literally a wave 3 within a wave 3 within a wave 3. And what that means is that everything is primed, literally primed for a run-up. And honestly, by the looks of it, after the FOMC meeting, which will discuss monetary policies like interest rates, which is like a strong candidate for extreme volatility, it does look like it will be moving around the FOMC meeting area, right? Which is September 17, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's 3 weeks away, roughly 3 weeks away. But with how the price action is developing, it looks to be a strong candidate of a very volatile move up around and after the FOMC meeting, with again higher highs and higher lows. Of course, Solana is looking to be in a very, very, very good position. So ironically, whether it be a leading diagonal, right, where we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it being an expanded flat of a combination where it's A, B, C, I mean, well, more like W, X, Y, or let me just draw it out, 4, 5. So either it being this leading diagonal or this combination wave down. The pullback that we are in right now, it will lead us to very similar price targets, right? Because whether you're arguing for the correction of wave 2 to still be in play, it would be within this box, which of course I haven't deleted yet, which I have at 1.74 and 180.64. Or if you're in the side of a leading diagonal, you can see that this retracement is between 179.97 or up to 183.95. So there is some overlap in here, and it's not far off, which is something that is actually bullish. It is pretty good to know that we have a general price target within this area. And currently what I am expecting is, of course, more downward pressure, because regardless of how you're counting it, it looks like we have to cool down, we have to go down more. But with this downward pressure, I am anticipating a very strong move to upside when the dust settles, because again, we would be in a larger degree wave 3 of a 3. And like, you may be thinking, like, why the hell would it be bullish if it's going back down to its original price like a couple days ago? right? This was August like 1920. Well, there's actually two things. First, because it means that the larger degree corrective wave is complete, as in this wave here is complete, right? If it is a bullish leading diagonal, it means that this second wave is complete and we're into the third wave, which means no more lower prices, as in it will not break this 175, this low that we have here. And in other words, it means, of course, taking a bigger look, it means that it would be a higher low in this sense, and higher high. And in that sense, it's bullish regardless of how you see it. Higher low and higher high, right? It is bullish. And secondly, in regards to timeline or time frame in general, we would be looking forward to upside movement much quicker, right? Because if we were still in a wave 2, we would have to wait for Solana to develop its to begin at the third wave, which would of course again take time. So we would have to wait longer, as it would have to be moving sideways or lower in a wave 2. In fact, like, let me show you what I mean, because if you're in the camp that wave 2 is not complete, of course we would be looking towards the completion of wave 2 first, right? Of wave 2 first, and then, only then will we begin a smaller degree of a climb up into the beginning of wave 3. Because the price action will always be moving in waves. It won't just shoot up in a straight vertical line. So after wave 2 is complete, of course we would have a wave 3, but we would have to have, in a smaller wave degree, a 1-2, right? Into a 3-4-5, and this would make up the wave 3 move. So again, even though leading diagonal, which is what I firmly believe we're in, even though leading diagonal is moving very slow and it will have a deep retracement, it's not bearish in any sort of way, because it just indicates that we will be moving, we will be making a higher high and a higher low. It's just a matter of time. And aside from that, there's nothing bearish about knowing where the price will land, knowing that we have this buffer zone, whether it be expanded flat, which is with this box, or leading diagonal, which is this box here. There's nothing bearish about it, especially knowing that now we have a price range of ultimately what, $9 range, knowing where the price is likely to head. So yeah, we do have strong foundation of where it's likely to hit. And of course, what to expect now is, of course, downward pressure, because regardless of which side you're on, we're gonna be going down. We're gonna be going down for sure. And it's gonna be a lot of sideways trading or trading within a range until we have the catalyst, that being the FOMOC meeting in a couple weeks. It's likely to be, you know, just moving sideways, as like even here, what we have here, this extremely bearish candle that we have on the 3-hour. This is extremely bearish. The price basically went up 3% and it just got hammered down. Just got hammered straight down. So essentially, of course, downward pressure, it's gonna be going down, and I wouldn't be surprised if we had sideways trading. Well, basically trading within a range, whether it be, you know, within this range here. Where is this? Within this range here that we have, or here. It's likely to be trading within this area for the next coming weeks. And yeah, I mean that's all I have for today's video. Of course, if you feel like you learned anything, or you just enjoy listening to me speak for whatever reason, please like that video. Please like this video, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.